Here's our data now for the handbag problem, and these are your 6 styles, and the factory has length and width here, and this is how many good handbags you had last inventory, and this is how many you rejected, and here's your wholesale value. We're saying it's just for the accepted bag because you're not going to sell your rejects. This is the number of kilowatt hours you use and the number of worker hours. So first thing we want is the total wholesale value for all of your good bags. So it's $33 for each good bag, and this is the number of good bags. So this would be equals this number times how much was the wholesale dollars you got for each good bag. And then we'll drag that down for all 6 bags. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Next is the kilowatt hours per handbag. Now here's your kilowatt hours over here, 896, and per handbag. Now per handbag, the electricity you use is for both the good and the rejects, because you don't know when you're working on them that you're going to reject them. So it's equals this number here, the kilowatt hours used, total kilowatt for all your bags of style 1, and that's divided by the sum of the good plus the rejects. Of course, you put a parenthesis because you got a sum. And that's the number of kilowatt hours that you spent for each handbag. We'll drag that down. Now we want the number of handbags per worker hour. Again, the workers are working on both the good and the reject, so you have to do both. So the number of handbags, that would be the good and the reject. A sum you always have to put in parentheses, so good plus reject, and that's per worker hour, so divided by the number of worker hours would be this, and then drag that on down. Now the electric cost. What was the electric cost? It was 0.132 in dollars. It was 13.2 cents per hour. So the electric cost would be 0.132 times the number of hours. So here are your kilowatt hours, which is here. Then per handbag. So per your total number of handbags would be your good and your rejects. So here your good plus your rejects, and that's your electric cost per handbag. 2.3 cents is what you're spending in electricity for each handbag. Now, what is the percent of the rejected? So that would be the rejects, which is this, divided by the total number of handbags, which is both the good and the bad. And then you want to multiply that by 100 or press your percent key, whichever you prefer. And there it is. That's 6.52% rejects in your style 1, 3.28% are rejects in style 2, etc. Now we want the percent of labor costs to wholesale value. So if you recall, the labor cost was $23 an hour, and that's times the number of hours, which was here. And now we want that ratio to, or divided by, the wholesale value. And the wholesale value here is right here. That's your total wholesale value for style 1. Make a percent, so times 100. So there's the labor cost percentage to wholesale value, and then drag that on down. Now we have to do for the whole factory. The total wholesale value, that's just going to be obtained by taking the sum of this column. So, whoops, made a mistake here. This is equals SU, take the sum, double click sum, and now add up this column. There's your total wholesale value for the whole factory. Now for the wholesale number or dollars per square foot for each accepted handbag, let's see, that would be, so for style 1, there's your total wholesale value, and that's per square footage. Now, we can't just say length times width, because in Excel, in a denominator, if you say one thing times another, that second thing, in this case the width, is going to multiply the numerator. So you have to put a parenthesis. So per square foot, length times width, here's your length, times the width. And we don't want the width to multiply the whole thing. We want it to just multiply the denominator. And that would be the wholesale dollars per square foot for the accepted bags. And then we'll drag that down for all 6 styles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now to get the wholesale, and then of course we'll add that up for the whole factory when we finish everything. Now for the wholesale dollars per worker hour, here's your wholesale dollars or value here per number of worker hours, that would be here. And it's $158 for each worker hour. And drag that down for all 6. Looks like you pay less per worker hour for these styles than you do for these styles. I guess these are more intricate styles here. Then finally, let's go over our total electric costs. So that would be, as you know, 0.132 or 13.2 cents. Times the number of kilowatt hours, which was G5, wasn't it? Yeah, here we go. And there's your total electric cost in dollars for your first style, second style, etc. Now for the whole factory, we'll add them up. So that's equals SU, double click on sum, add up, whoops, sorry. And we could do that for the other two, or just drag across and eliminate the zeros later. I find that easier. We'll just eliminate the 0 here. And there it is. Here's your total wholesale values for each accepted handbag. For all your accepted handbags. This is your total wholesale numbers here. These are the wholesale dollars per worker hour, and here's your total electric costs.